Hey dumplings, it's David Asai. We have 3 topics to talk about today. One, where people believe Jung Kook and his team should take legal action on some people. We also have people believing Charlie Puth kind of exposed Jung Kook being gay. And then we have HYBE giving a statement about JHope. So, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, tea spilling mug, and let's get into it. The first thing that we need to talk about is the HYBE or big hit statement. This is very exciting, and I'm happy to start it off with this. This news was buried after the alleged news of the Lisa and Taeyang on a private jet situation. And that is quite a shame because I see it now getting the headlines it deserves, but it was definitely overshadowed. But Big Hit made an announcement that JHope will be releasing his new piece of art, his new music. This is a full-length album and he will be performing this at Lollapalooza, I think. The name of the album is called Jack in the Box. I initially thought it was going to be a reference towards the restaurant since his last song was chicken noodle soup, so going with a cute food theme thing. But it seemed to represent something else. Big Hit said the album is named Jack in the Box to represent aspirations to break out of the box, as a Jack in the Box bursts out. And it could also represent a thinking outside the box type of music. That is just my theory though. So we can expect something very different and innovative. I do think it'll be something we're not really expecting. So I was initially thinking maybe more rap like Hope World, and I think a lot of people are expecting that. And not only expecting that, I think a lot of people were expecting the album to be called Hope World 2 or something, but he really went another direction, which may be how the album sounds, so expect to be surprised. Big Hit talked about how the album will represent a new creative identity for JHope, and it'll be a new diverse content being introduced. They asked us to please look forward to it, and absolutely, I think all of us are on the edge of our seats. I'm just curious if it will be a hip-hop thing or a pop thing. It doesn't really matter, I like both genres, but I'm curious to know. Here are some things and important things to know if you want to support. Please note this down. You may or may not know this already. The pre-release track will be released on July 1st. Now, I don't know 100%, but typically this means that July 1st we might get a music video. So a lot of the times artists will release a music video and then a couple weeks later, sometimes months later, release the full album. And it's really to gauge the interest of the album and also hopefully to try to get pre-orders in. So in order for an album to get #1 or rank #1 on the first day it's released, the album has to get a certain number of sales on that release day, but a little loophole or roundabout is pre-orders. This is well known in the industry and most of you probably know this already. So if an artist needs to get 1,000 sales on its first day of release to get #1 on the charts, the label can do 2 things. They can just release the song with no pre-orders or pray that they'll get 1,000 sales in 24 hours after the release. Or they can do pre-orders for a month in advance, and if in that month they are able to get 1,000 sales, those sales don't count until the official release day. And automatically, once the release date comes, they already have 1,000 sales and right away they're at #1. So pre-orders are very important. Make sure you do that if you plan on getting it. And the official full release will be on the 15th of July, so we have like 2 weeks after the music video comes out. Again, not 100% sure of the music video, but again, just my theory. I really hope JHope and various other members really get their time to shine. And I hope HYBE can use this time to really show off his talents and what he can do. I have a feeling the album will be a huge mix of dance music, hip-hop, pop, and just all of the things that really make you think that JHope is a very diverse and talented artist with a big range. Of course, we will get hate comments. This is natural, it seems, in K-pop. Jung Kook was previously under attack, and this was something I definitely wanted to address. Someone made up a rumor about Jung Kook saying that he inappropriately touched a fan and that Big Hit paid him or her to keep him or her's mouth shut. This was a tweet that ended up getting thousands of retweets and likes, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm aware that when things like this happen, there tends to be a lot of hate sent to the idols. Some people might see a tweet like that and see that it has a lot of support and just suddenly believe that the tweet is correct when it's not. And then they use that as an excuse to attack someone. It's usually someone they've disliked for no reason, but that person hasn't ever actually done anything wrong. You just don't like their face or whatever. And then the hater sees something bad and they almost so badly want to believe that the bad thing is real because it proves that they're not a bad person for hating someone for no reason. But they are, and a lot of people do this to BTS for no reason. They just have a bad feeling about the group and are looking for something to hate. There was no evidence of this alleged tweet being real. They didn't post any proof. It was literally just a tweet on an account with no followers and it just went viral. The account did later clarify that it was just a made-up rumor to get back at ARMY, and this was what the problem is. Because when a fandom does something bad, other people decide to attack the artist to get back at the fandom. But the artist then starts getting death threats. So don't do that. If you hate a person or a lot of people in the fandom, go after them. Don't attack the artist. It's also so weird how something with no evidence or proof can go so viral. People just make up claims claims and it's just believed. We tend to jump on so many bandwagons and hate trains so quickly, and we forget that the artist that is behind the screen that will be at the end of the hate train is a human being. And these haters are telling that person to go die or sending threats to their family because they don't like the fandom and actually have no problem with the artist. I urge people, when you see an outrageous claim online, do your research and look into it before you judge. If you see something that is outrageous, then it might not be true and it might be exaggerated. And stop giving these tweets retweets, because it brings this nonsense to a huge audience. Understand that a retweet for you is something that takes 3 seconds out of your day, but it could potentially ruin someone's life or get someone to kill themselves. This is cyberbullying. And people don't talk about it enough when it comes to cyberbullying public figures, because they're supposed to be able to handle it. People were saying Jung Kook should take legal action or sue this person who made this claim, but since the person admitted it was fake, there's no legal action to take. They publicly already said that they lied, and at this point, no company can stop every bad and malicious comment online. With the release of Left and Right by Charlie Puth, there was some controversy, but I personally really enjoyed the video. If you want to fangirl over with me about the music video, check out my reaction on Patreon. I will link my Patreon down below. The more interesting one was people believing that the music video actually exposed Jung Kook being gay. Since if you follow the story, there is an underlying gay theme in the video. Charlie Puth is basically singing about how he cannot stop thinking about Jung Kook, and the scene where Charlie is in the therapist's office, he starts seeing Jung Kook and gets scared. When Charlie pays for the therapy visit, his phone says "Love Doctor," which is a hint that he has visited the doctor to get over Jung Kook. It's also wonderful that this themed video was also released on Pride Month, and I'm sure a lot of gay people who can look at this video in a very nice way and relate. It became said that Jung Kook had come out due to this video, or this might have been his coming out video, because it seemed like a couple of things that Jung Kook has been featured in, Jung Kook was gay. So this video, he allegedly plays a gay person, and then in Seven Fates, the character that was represented by Jung Kook is also gay or could be gay. And like, we don't know what their orientation is, but statistically with 7 men, one of them might be gay. But of course, a lot of this is just theories. And even though it may seem more than coincidental, it could just be Jung Kook being a massive supporter of the LGBT community and really wants the community to know that he is behind them. Korea is notoriously stereotyped to be a little homophobic, and he could be trying to change that. We know Charlie is straight, and Charlie had no problem playing a gay person. This doesn't mean he was coming out or anything like that. Charlie was just showing his support to the community as well. He has had no problem giving Jung Kook all the compliments and really talking about how much he loves how Jung Kook looks. Either way, if any of them are gay, then that's beautiful, and if they're not, I love that we have 2 more amazing and powerful allies by our side. I think this will give a lot of people more courage to see that there's more acceptance of gay people. That potentially 2 straight people could play a gay person and not see anything gross or weird about that. And I'd love to know what you think about everything today. Do you believe Jung Kook should take legal action on Twitter? Do you personally believe Jung Kook starring in a potentially gay music video means anything about himself, or that it was just him playing a character and being an ally? And how, of course, are you feeling about JHope's mixtape, and what will be his new identity? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos. Link down below. I think it says lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.